Hey, anybody want to say why you're here today?
Me. I'm here for my mom and dad. I'm the first generation. My parents migrated here when they were 16 and 19. I'm doing this for them. And for my kids.
Hey, I'm supporting the Raza, fool. That's why I'm here.
All right.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Hello and welcome back to another edition of History and Whatever. I'm James Manning III. And what you're about to hear is, back in June, I went to a No King's Day protest, and I just decided to ask a few people, what brought you out today? And that's what makes this episode special, because we're witnessing history at the moment, and I just wanted to see what some other people had to say about it. So give a listen to what people said at the No King's Day protest here in Eugene. I have removed, mostly the names of everyone in this. I just want people to remain anonymous. Of course, there's no video content to this podcast, but I hope you enjoy what I was able to find. What's your reason for coming out today?
Well, I can't believe what's going on in our country. We've got Donnie trying to take over the country, and all the politicians, the Republican politicians, are all afraid of not getting reelected if they don't kiss his ring. So it's got to stop. Somebody's got to have the guts to stand up to him.
Yeah, well put. Thank you, sir. But I'm just asking people what brought them out today.
Yeah, I want to see a world where everybody's represented and cared about, a world of wellness. So I'm out here for that.
Yeah, I love it.
I think it's really important to show the people in power that the rest of us are not going to stand for this. We got to stand up and shift things toward the kind of world that we want to see happen.
Yeah, absolutely. Anybody?
I wouldn't have been anywhere else given what's going on in our government and with senators being killed and people being taken off the streets and detained. This is not normal times. These are not normal times.
Can we do a song for you? Let's do that song we were just doing, the No One Is Left Behind.
No one is getting left behind this time. No one is getting left behind. Not this time. No one is getting left behind this time. We get there together, never get there at all. We get there together, never get there at all. We get there together, never get there at all. No one is getting. Thank you.
Saying why you're here today for podcast?
I don't mind.
You don't mind? Yeah.
Right now I'm here to take pictures of all the people standing up for those who are not quite as easily standing up for themselves right now. And I am sick of seeing Donald Trump everywhere I go and sick of seeing people talk about him in a positive way. So we're trying to get rid of that guy.
Thank you. You guys want to say why you're here for a podcast? Okay. Hey, anybody want to say why you're here today?
Me. I'm here for my mom and dad. I'm the first generation. My parents migrated here when they were 16 and 19. I'm doing this for them. And for my kids.
Hey, I'm supporting the Raza, fool. That's why I'm here.
All right.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm so sorry. Repeat the question.
I'm just out here asking people why they came out today.
Freedom. Because we don't live where we have a dictator, and this is just
our nation isn't supposed to be ran by billionaires. This is insane. Humans are being kidnapped every day for no reason besides being brown and not being born here. They work their asses off every day doing jobs that we Americans, the white Americans, don't want to do or won't do. Fuck Donald Trump.
Yeah, all right, well said. Thank you. You too. Anybody like to say what they're doing here today? Any words? Any words for why you decided to come out today?
Want a free country. Yeah. I want a free country, and fuck Donald Trump.
All right. Yeah. Sounds good to me. I agree. Here we go. How about you?
What about me?
Would you like to say anything about why you came out today?
Let's see. Let me think. This country is supposed to be everyone. It's supposed to be liberty and justice for everyone. And I know that within the history of our country that hasn't always been true. But there are people who, from the time that I have grown up, have always tried to change that narrative to where everyone belongs here. Everyone deserves democracy. Everyone deserves freedom. And fuck Donald Trump.
Yeah. All right. Appreciate it. Yeah, thank you so much. Just asking people why they decided to come out today.
Supporting No Kings. I think what's going on in this country is absolutely horrendous. There's clearly people are being taken from their homes, from their lives for no good reason. No one's doing anything about it, and I think today of all days we're kind of together and showing that we're standing against tyranny, against fascism, and really coming together as a whole unit saying just fuck Donald Trump and fuck the current government.
Yeah, well said. I've been getting a lot of that. Fuck Donald Trump. Hey, well, thanks a lot. Appreciate it. Yeah, be safe.
Thanks for coming out.
Yeah, hey, why are you coming out today?
Because I love my country, and Donald Trump is terrible for the country, all up and down the line.
Yeah. That's a nice constitution. I like that. Hardback. Yeah, John Adams, Ben Franklin.
Words of the people who made us what we are. And if you listen to the founding fathers, if you really listen to their words, Donald Trump and the MAGA party and their whole spiel run directly contrary to what we were built to be. They say we're going to be great again. We can't be great by going the opposite of our nature. And our nature as Americans, freedom, justice, equality, honor, and integrity. And they just keep stepping all over that in order to get what they want. That's not America. So how are we going to be great by being not ourselves?
Yeah. Gotcha. Hey, thanks so much. Appreciate it. Stay safe. Would you like to say why you came out today?
Came out because we need to save our country. We need to save our country from a tyrant. That's why I came out.
That's right. Thank you. Would you like to say why you came out today?
I came out because Donald Trump is an asshole and it's just a power grab that he's playing and he's starting crap, and we're all out here to say no more and we're not going to bow down.
That's right. Thank you. All right. Anybody like to say why they came out today?
I came out here to defend my First Amendment rights. I was born here. I don't care that I'm brown. My daughter just graduated as a scientist from Georgia Tech. That's what we need to do. We need to build our children forward. And this whole thing about disability, no, we paid that. We paid our disability. He doesn't get to take it. And that's what we need to fight for, our rights. Veterans are first. They have been cut off at the knees. It's despicable. And I say, no king. No king.
No kings.
Thank you very much.
Hey, thank you. I appreciate it. All right. Would you like to say anything about why you came out today?
There's too many reasons. I mean, where do I begin?
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm out here. I'm trying to get different perspectives, see what people have to say about it.
Yeah, and you're from where?
Well, I'm actually just a local comedian. My name is James Manning III. I do a podcast called History and Whatevea. And considering that we are witnessing a strange sort of history on play, I just came out to see what people have to say about it.
Right. I mean, it isn't that strange because we've seen it all before. I think the murders this morning were, I mean, I wish I could say it was a shock, but it's just that feeling of doom, and this is what keeps me from going too far down into that. It gives me a sense of community and some sense of solidarity.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. Yeah. Right. Anybody want to say why they came out today? Anything? You want to say why you came out today? No? I just do a podcast, so. Yeah.
I came out to point at conservatives so that they feel scared for once in their goddamn lives.
All right. That's one perspective. I like it. Anybody? All right.
Revolutionary War family! I have 4 generations that fought in the Revolutionary War for our freedom, and by God, they won to keep a king out of this country, and we don't need a king taking away our rights. We don't need a king that takes away our power, so vote the midterms and get this guy, neuter his power, take away his power by voting in the midterms. I am not a paid protester, I'm a pissed protester, and I don't get paid a dime to do this.
Yeah, I'm with you. I don't make anything on my podcast, and I'm definitely not getting paid to be here, so I'm with it. Follow the Constitution.
I was on the winning side of the Revolutionary War. My family fought, and all of them survived the Revolutionary War for freedom.
That's right. Well, thank you very much. Hey, I'm gathering perspectives on the No King protests today. Would you like to say anything about why you came out?
I came out because we're having, mass amounts of ICE raids, mass deportations, all-time high prices, workers' rights aren't, there. So I'm here for, to support the everyday working man, the everyday common person, as, things are kind of going crazy, and I feel like not enough people are, maybe because we're constantly bombarded by everything that we see in the media and the news cycle these days. We're kind of become desensitized to it, or we've just, kind of just grown apathy, or we just kind of ignore it. And so I try to come out to show my support and also, do a little documentation, and that way I can, share it with my friends and family and kind of tell them what's going on in the world, because so many of my friends and family, they're not politically aware, so I just want to be out there, be on the front lines advocating for everyone who can't or won't show up, and that way I can try to further educate other people to try to demonstrate their rights, because protesting is a right, and I refuse to let that be taken away. So I guess that's about it.
Yeah. Hey, thank you. I've been getting a lot of that, but I just wanted to get different perspectives and see what people have to say for themselves, And I don't think you were paid to be here today, were you?
Hell no, not paid to be here. I go to every protest because, like I said, it's my right to protest, and I want to continue that right, and I want to fight for those rights for other people to not only protest but to live in this country free.
Yeah, that's right. I do this for free. And for freedom, right?
Absolutely. I would do this for free and for freedom every day of the week. Yes, sir.
All right. Hey, thanks very much, man. Yeah, you too.
It's fine. Yeah, what do you want to talk about? Or
just any reason you came out, man. That's it. I'm just looking for perspectives.
I gotta think about what to say first. Well, we need to show that all this federal overreach should not be allowed, not only by the Constitution, but also just it's morally wrong. I feel a lot of people could agree. Especially on the right, a lot of his own supporters, they constantly talk about this idea of stopping federal overreach versus states' rights, or the rights of the people with the Constitution and the Bill of Rights and everything within it. Yet when it comes to them being in power, they immediately become hypocrites and back down from those claims. showing that what really matters in America is partisan beliefs. And I came to this protest because I wanted to show that the system that we're in right now, there are still tons of millions of Americans within it who don't care about left or right, conservative or liberal. They just want to show that this is a democracy that we live in. This is a place for the people, of the people. People have rights. They have the right to have those rights listened to by the government. The government should not be allowed to tread on people, either people who might be here illegally, people who might be here legally and getting racially profiled, or just citizens who are getting arrested by the deportment agency because they disagree with what those people are saying. It is an attack on any and all American values, and coming to this protest shows that this man has, even though he has divided the nation, there are still millions of Americans who believe in those values.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. And anything from you?
Yeah, I'll just say that it's our duty to show up for the people that can't, and to use our voice and our bodies to
voice dissent.
Yeah, just to show that we're here and we support people, and yeah, I just wanted to say, abolish ICE, free Palestine, and deport Trump.
Yeah, I know, right? I wish we could. It seems like Elon's going to deport himself now. All right. Hey, guys, I'm James Manning III. Thanks. Hey, how's it going? Hey, would you like to say anything about why you decided to come out to the No Kings rally today?
It's important to stand up for democracy, civil liberties, honor the Constitution, and it's dangerous when we depart from that, and you gotta be willing to stand up.
That's right. Hey, thanks, man. Appreciate it. Hey, would you guys be interested in saying why you decided to come out today?
I'm not good at articulating, but here against Trump, against ICE, that's about it.
Sounds good.
Fuck Trump.
All right. Been getting that one a lot today. Hey, how's it going? Any of you guys like to say why you came out today?
Yeah, we're out here because of Healthcare for All Oregon. We're trying to make sure that everybody gets healthcare. We're tired of seeing a for-profit industry take advantage of all of the folks that are out here. And this system that we're promoting, Healthcare for All Oregon, is probably one of the best options there is, instead of this for-profit kind of industry that they're pushing on us that doesn't take care of the people. It takes care of the profit. Bottom line is for-profit kind of a system.
Yeah, all right. HCAO.org. Healthcare for All Oregon. All right. You guys?
Yeah, sure. I'm here because... Sorry, there's some traffic noise there.
Yeah, there's lots of that.
I'm here because everybody who isn't an immigrant needs to start saying that immigrants belong here, and Klansmen do not belong here. It doesn't matter how the Klansmen are dressed. They might be dressed as ICE agents. The Klansmen need to go. The immigrants deserve to stay.
Yeah, I mean, they should at least be put on the terrorist list, which they still are not, to my understanding. But how about you, sir?
Yes, I'm here to protest the anti-American administration. You know, I am used to having a government here that serves the people instead of a government that uses the people. And so as a member of HCAO, that is Healthcare for All Oregon, I think that we're in the process of creating a system that'll care for people rather than take advantage of people for profit.
Yeah, very good. Thank you. All right.
Endless oppression.
What was that?
Endless oppression. I'm just kind of sick and tired of it.
Yeah. Agreed.
What do you think? Anybody else? Anything else to say?
I mean, you kind of just have to show up. I'd rather be at home, but you kind of have to show that these fuckers aren't gonna. I mean, they might get away with it. Who knows? But if we don't show up, then it's more than guaranteed. So.
Yeah, absolutely, guys. Thank you very much. I hear you.
Well, I'm here at this protest because armed masked men are grabbing citizens, putting them in vans, and bringing them to prisons for life without trial. And free countries don't do that shit.
Yeah, that's correct. Free countries don't do that shit.
I'm here for pretty much the same reason. It's that, and it's good to be out here and have first aid gear and protective things just in case something goes bad, that you can help who you can and keep yourself safe.
Yeah, amen to that. Everybody's trying to do their best out here, and everyone's peaceful. I want to stress that everyone's very peaceful. All right. Who we got next?
Pretty much the same. Just watching our leadership in this country just take the wheel and go fully against the Constitution and the laws and not care. And there needs to be pushback on that, because the consequences and the way that can erode the way of life of everyone here puts everyone in danger.
Yeah, I hear that. I know it's strange that the law and order president is the one breaking the most laws. All right. Well, we'll continue. Let's do it. And you guys you don't have to state your name or anything. Just, if you want to say your initials, that's fine. But any reason is good with me, just seeing what people are thinking today.
I mean, fuck Donald Trump. At the end of the day, what else are you doing here?
Yeah.
Amen. All right.
Fuck Donald Trump, fuck ICE. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, my name is Peyton, and civics is not a team sport, and America has no kings, so fuck you if you want to unilaterally change this nation. Your viewpoint is no more important than anyone else's. We're a nation of laws and men, not fucking kings.
That's right. I'm 100% in agreement. All right. Hey, I'm James Manning III, and I'm just figuring out what people are doing here. Got anything to say about what's happening?
Hi, James. So my name's Rue, and I'm an Air Force veteran, and I recall taking an oath to defend the United States Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic. And it is my estimation that we have a domestic enemy in the White House. I'm super not happy about that, and while I may not be active duty anymore, I still take my oath very seriously. So this has brought me out in full force.
All right, excellent. Yeah, I know I'm not a veteran, but I feel the same way. I've never taken an oath to the Constitution, but I do wish to defend it. So, yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. You got a great Star Wars shirt on today. I'm for it. All right, hey, thanks a lot. I was gathering some perspectives on why people came out to the No Kings today. You got anything would you like to say?
Sure.
Yeah.
We came out today because it's time for the rational people to come out and speak their mind as well. It's been a battle between the extremists for too long, and look at where we're at. And I couldn't sit quiet anymore. And so this is my first time coming out to protest, and I'm glad I was here.
Yeah, well, thanks for coming. I agree. Would you like to say anything? No, and just real quick, you guys weren't paid to be here, right?
No, absolutely not. An American citizen. I'm a nurse, and I work in social services, and I've been seeing the spiral out of control, and they have things set up so that people can't actually access the services that we're supposed to be offering them, and it's impossible to get people the things they need because the bureaucrats and the politicians are the ones taking the money. It's all going to the administrative costs. It's not going to the people that we're supposed to be serving, and it's time for us to stop that.
That's right. Well, thank you very much, you guys. I appreciate it.
What terrible things are going on in this country, and we're trying to show a little love and a little community that a lot of people feel like they're all alone, and they just want all the useless eaters to die so the rich people can have their little Riviera. And I'm not for any of that. I'm pro Palestine and pro a living, a healthy, sustainable life and liberty and all the things that we're here in this country for, that are so beautiful and so at risk. And we're gonna fight. We're gonna keep this going as long as it takes, and dump this Trump and anyone else that comes along that doesn't. That we're the people, and we do have a say, and we do vote. So this is us voting today.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, I always wondered, like in Germany when Hitler was taking over, like, how could that happen to good people, good family people? You know, how could Hitler have that kind of support and do what he did? Well, this is exactly what it looks like. We already know what it looks like. We already have a template of history, what's already happened, to know what happens, because it's happening step by step. We know, and don't be surprised if you hear all this news about them shipping people, immigrants, to Don't be surprised if there's going to be concentration camps. And who's next? They get rid of the elderly, the sick, and the poor, and they get rid of them. And that's what they're doing. That is what they're trying to do. Trying to get rid of healthcare, trying to get rid of people so they die off. And that we die off. Well, guess what? There's more of us than them. There may be a few very rich at the top that's in control of everything, but there's more of us. And our unity is our strength. Together we can do this. Our unity is our strength. We must.
Yes, we must stand together. That's right.
I also think, the kids today are going to be asking their parents, Dad, Mom, where were you, when that Holocaust was happening in 2025, in Gaza? Where were you when the civil rights movement was reborn in 2025? Where were you when all the rights were taken away? What did you do, Mom? What did you do, Dad? And, I don't know if everybody's helping out, but it's kind of like what we're doing right now is a little CPR for the planet. We're having a little heart attack, this country, and this is a little CPR, and that's why we're here.
I think what's going to happen is, sometimes it takes horrible atrocities for us to move forward. And it took somebody like Trump, a convicted felon, multiple felonies. I mean, who would ever think that a person like that could be president? Well, it took somebody that horrible and monstrous to be able to get the people to move. It took a catalyst to this degree for us to all stand together. And you know what? It could very well be that in the future we are going to thank Trump, because it was that catalyst that created this unity and this change for all of us. Yes, together we can.
Well, thank you very much, you guys. I'm James Manning III. You can look it up. I just do a podcast. Yeah. YouTube and Spotify. I'm like a local comic and musician. So.
I love comedians.
Yeah. I just
trying to learn comedy because it helps a lot, to have comedy, and I've never been very good at it because it's so painful to watch people suffer. I learned recently that they just shut down, with all the cutbacks, they shut down 9 pain clinics in the whole state of Oregon. Do you know how many doctors at each clinic? Do you know how many patients per doctor? We're talking thousands and thousands of people without any kind of doctors. The 5% I heard of Riverbend Hospital has been shut down already. That's cancer doctors. That's all kinds of doctors. The cutbacks are affecting everyone, and people are dying, and it's going to get worse if we don't do something now. Yes.
That's right. Well, I thank you guys for your words, and stay safe out there. All right. That's right. Thank you. So I made it a point to ask everybody, to ask several people, hey, were you paid here to be here today? Because this is, they're saying that people are being paid by George Soros to go out and do these protests or something, and it's just totally ridiculous. I can't believe some of the things that I've seen, and there's no other way to describe it, as many others have, as just a fire hose of wrong, and the complete and utter moral vacuum that is the Trump administration. They care of nothing. They care for no one, and they are extremely violent. And they try to paint these protests as though there's some sort of gathering of those who would strike down the system, or insurrectionists or something like that. And it's just wrong. I think that the reason that I decided to go out there wasn't to gather these voices. It was to I can't even I can't even wrap my mind around what to say. There's so much to say, as a few people mentioned. But I think it's because I believe in the Constitution. And I believe in truth, and virtue, and morality, and empathy, and understanding, and an ability of people to work together nationwide, regardless of whether you immigrated to this country, or if you were born here generations ago and your family came over on the Mayflower, or what have you. We are all Americans, and that is something that we need to express, and we need to understand about each other, is that it doesn't really matter who you are. If you feel in your heart that you yearn to breathe free and that you wish to be an American, you are. It's like when people ask me, you're filling out something and ask you what your race or ethnicity is, I like to say I'm a Celt. Because really, you can't define the Celts. And if you say you are one, then you are. So you can use that too if you'd like. But when it comes down to it, I'm just seeing lies, and more lies. And somehow everything they say, the opposite is true. They're like, oh, liberals, they're the violence in this country and they hate America. That's all I can think of. Hate America? No. The base of liberal is liberty. Think about it. Oh, woke. We hate this wokeness. It's because they want you to stay asleep. And they can see that there's progress coming, and they're doing everything they can to stop it. To take us back to a time before we were understanding and knew what this country's really about. And it's disgusting to me because I believe that through our strife, through our great and terrible history, this is what makes America. This is how we gained our freedom. This is how we gained the riches and wealth and prosperity, was through capitalism, but regulated capitalism. Regulated capitalism. If you do not regulate capitalism, this is chaos. And I truly believe that. That's where our strength comes from. Diversity and regulated capitalism. So that we can live healthy lives and have jobs that pay good wages. And we can, there in turn we pay taxes, which generates us incredible amounts of money. And if we work together, there's nothing that can stop us. Nothing. But there's a few things that have really stumbled me. Like, normally I try to put out once a month, once every other month, I'll put one of these history episodes out. Well, and I haven't been able to do that because of just the insanity that I'm seeing unfold before my very eyes. And it keeps stumbling me. Not just stumbling, but terrifying. Absolutely terrifying. The fear. But this is the mark of bravery. Okay? When you're scared, but yet you push forward anyway. You take that fear and you say, yes, very well, it is here, but I must move forward either way. This is bravery. And you do it because your virtue pushes you forward. And what we see is that there have been some Supreme Court decisions that essentially are made of fear and treason. The Supreme Court, along with all of the purchased representatives, some of the most vocal, vile, and hate-filled people, it's because they're being paid to do so. So, and also with the Citizens United decision that overturned campaign finance rules and saying that you can donate as much as you want. This is what happens. We have people, oligarchs, that have unlimited budgets, right? Complete unlimited budgets. So they can just, like Elon Musk tried to do and buy the Supreme Court election in Wisconsin, I believe. I mean, look at the unscrupulous manner at which he spends this incredible amounts of money. Because, look, when you have people, Bezos and Musk and the dumbass who owns Facebook, and they're buying up, they just have so much wealth that they are completely disconnected with the real world. And they don't understand what we're going through. And they're like, oh, I could throw away, $5 million or $6 or $7 or $10 million and not even bat an eye, but help people? Nah, I ain't helping nobody. This is my money and I'm going to blow it how I want. And the rest of you can just go off and die. Well, this is what we're facing. Because with these unlimited budgets, they're able to buy these people. And they did. They successfully bought the Supreme Court. They successfully bought the House of Representatives. They successfully bought the Senate. I mean, half of it at least. And a majority on the Supreme Court. And he's trying to do the same with everything. Just take these people who we've completely purchased, who took our money, who fear us because we will disable their ability to have lots and lots of money. When you think about it, though, regular people don't require that much money. And they're just being total hoarders. There was a time in this country where the never-ending pursuit of money, no matter how much, you have a lot of it and you just continue to seek more and more and more of it, this is mental illness. And there was a time in this country where it was classified as such, a mental illness. And we need to revisit that. Because if you look at the way that these people are behaving, they are scared, they are insecure, and they're completely purchased. So they'll say whatever their overlords tell them to say. Just like, we saw Trump say, hey, if you vote for the release of these Epstein files, this is considered a hostile act, which means he's going to seek to destroy you. And you're one of his own. I just keep seeing what's happening with our government, and we just see that it's run by a bunch of absolute mental children. And that, almost any of us could do better in these places of insane power than what we've got. And they're just so jaded by how much money they have and how little struggle that they've had to endure for a while. I don't know where, people's backgrounds are, but they've lost track of the struggle. And when you have so much money concentrated in so few hands, let me explain it. This is the way I think of it, okay? Think of our economy as like a lake. Okay? And the money represents the water. You have people or fish, right? You have fish who keep siphoning off water from the lake we all live in into a lake that they control and live in. Okay, a smaller lake, a pond. But you see, they continue to siphon off the money, all of them, until the lake that we live in is so small and the water is so shallow that we must retreat to the deepest, darkest points of it in order to have the space that we need. And the lakes that they live in are they're combined, they're larger than the lake that we all live in. And they keep siphoning off the water, and there are so many fish in this pond or this lake that we're just all struggling to get by, even if you're making like a good amount of money. And that's what inflation is, right? Because the way economies work, supply and demand, there's a lot of supply. The demand is there, and they get the products, but with tariffs, they cost more. So that's just like ratcheting up the inflation, right? Because people are like, okay, well, I need this much money to deliver a product. And then people are buying that product up at huge quantities, like housing. Okay, so think about all the rich people who own several houses, okay? These mega billionaires or whatever, their giant mansions and all that. Hey, think about it. I mean, there's big companies, corporations who are buying up all these houses and they sit unused. People can't afford to pay $1,200, $1,400, $1,600 a month in rent. And now it's like you can't get a mortgage, which generally people were paying less. I mean, the people in my life around me were paying less for a mortgage than we were for rent. And you don't get anything when you pay rent. You just get a place. And then all that money is just gone. And every year it goes up. Do you see what happens to people when you have so much money you don't really care? You're like, whatever, fucking $2,000, $500, $5,000 a month, whatever, spend this money. No, regular people don't have that luxury. And the fact is they could not care less about it. And that's very obvious because they just lie. They just say, oh, we solved inflation. Don't worry about it. It's those interest rates. It's that damn Federal Reserve. They're the reason we don't have it. Oh, there's going to be a golden age. We're trying to refit this economy to be in a golden age. And it's all a bunch of lies. I mean, the reason why we have term limits for the president is because Franklin Delano Roosevelt served 4 terms and died in office. But he was popular and he was able to do that because he did things for the poor people. He made Social Security, all right? Social Security was a way to have people pay into something, a fund, so that when they get old, at least they can get enough money every month to just live out the rest of their lives. I mean, people work for 30, 40 years, 50 years in some cases. And then what? You just have to go. You don't get any, you get to a point where you can't work anymore. So this is why he was such a successful president, is that he knew that the power lies within the masses. And this is what America is supposed to be about, like the Equal Protections Clause. We're supposed to have equal protections in this country. And the farther and farther away we get from the protections of the Constitution, very soon, even these people who have sold their souls to the governmental devil so that they can get ahead and help them take control and wield power, you will find that you are no longer safe and that you wish that you had the Constitution to protect your rights. But they don't see that. They can't see past the end of their nose. Donald Trump could have had the most successful presidency ever and still did everything that he wanted to do if he just would have done what he said he was going to do. Let the Biden economy roll and start doing the things to get more money into the hands of people who need it, who will spend it. This generates money in tax revenue because people spend the money and it gets taxed a bunch of times along the way. I mean, it's simple. You don't need to be a genius to understand this stuff. You just kind of have to look into it a little bit and have a basic understanding. This is why I don't like the stimulus idea. These like one-time payment checks. Okay, great. Yeah, that's going to help some people. We're going to like it. But you know what? In the long run, it doesn't really do anything for the economy. It's bad for inflation because you're just pumping this money that you've printed into the pond and then it gets used up, but that increases inflation because the supply and doesn't meet the demand, and the demand is there because there's more people with money, and then the cost goes up because they're trying to meet the demand of the supply. It's really, and if anybody would like to dispute me on this, hey, go for it. I'm for it. Leave me a comment or you can email me at info@jm3e.com. That's fine. Whatever. I'd love to discuss it. But this stuff is, I can't wrap my head around why this is happening and how it's being allowed. I guess they have power, but my God, even what I'm saying right now could get me in water if anybody ever heard it, right? It could get me in hot water because they're destroying the fabric of American life. They are ruining everything that we know and hold dear. And how they have supporters, I don't know, because that is not... Patriotism is not these flag-waving, Trump supporters, all right? That's called nationalism. Or it's just like supporting a king. You know, there were loyalists during the revolutionary times in America, you know, they would swore fealty to the king and always did. But, you know, our founding fathers saw the things that king was doing and said no more. And this is what gave birth to the Constitution. And the Constitution also gave birth to allowing us to have some sort of army, right? Because the Articles of Confederation didn't really have the ability for the federal government to do that. But the biggest problem that I'm seeing are these sellouts. And they're selling us out, and they're selling themselves out, and destroying our freedoms, destroying our liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. You know, they just keep going after people who decide to be transgender, and I don't understand this, because that is their freedom. That is their liberty. If this is what you wish to do, you're not harming anyone else. You should be allowed to do so, because this is America. And you know what? It may not be my way, but it is theirs, and we shall not infringe upon their liberty or the pursuit of happiness. And they don't see it like that. They use these people to spin. And it's so sad. What happened? What happened to us? What happened to virtue? What happened to understanding? What happened to working together? Where did these people come from who are willing to sell out their countries for money? And willing to spew these horrible words? And it causes butterfly effects throughout our entire society for people who truly listen and believe and subscribe to that team. Much damage is done. Where are those who are willing to speak out for the virtue? I guess I'm one, but the words that I'm saying, will they reach anyone's ears? I don't know. I'm not popular. I mean, I'm a comedian. That's all I've ever wanted to be. A comedian. An entertainer. I love to play music. I host shows. Be out there all night and just raising hell. And watching the joy and laughter. You know, and I wish that joy and laughter to be brought back to Palestine. But they, for some reason, we are entangled with Israel, and I don't understand it. And the atrocities that are being committed over there, I cannot understand who any Christian in the entire world could see that and be like, no, that's fine, they deserve it. Because that's not what Jesus would say. I mean, personally, I'm not a Christian, but I have read some parts of the Bible, and I do know of Jesus. And, you know, me and Jesus would sit down and have a good time, man. We could talk. But I think that there are many who he would treat as though he did the money changers and drive them by force from the temple. So, you know, we all have to gain perspective. And just because we have things in our history that are unpleasant, that actually makes us who we are, and we need to open our eyes to those unpleasantries, which is one reason why I'm doing this. But one thing money can't buy is loyalty, and that's why you're seeing fist fights in the White House. You're seeing people who break away from the party, people like Kash Patel who are in hot spot, but yet they use their leverage against those who pay them and put them there and hope that they can survive. It's because, you know, that kind of purchasing of mercenaries, this doesn't grant fealty, all right? This doesn't produce loyalty. Loyalty is only as far as the circumstances permit when you pay for them. And that's why the Supreme Court has lost their mind. Lost their mind. You know, Trump wouldn't be such a big deal if the Supreme Court wasn't doing all these very odd things to bend over backwards for him. So it makes me think, how many of the Supreme Court justices are in the Epstein files? Or, you know, what is it that they have on them that they would defy the Constitution and overturn 100-year-old president or more? For what? they're making these decisions on the shadow docket, like, and lower court judges don't understand what they're saying, and they're doing it and allowing these things to go on. But, honestly, I find them treasonous because they're breaking away from things like equal protections, freedom of speech and press. So far they've, defended the Second Amendment and the right to own guns. But if you destroy the other amendments, that amendment gets destroyed too. And trust me, they're not going to stop at that. They're going to they can pass laws that would restrict gun ownership for regular working people. If you're in power, like, what are they going to do? It's like, what are you going to do as a regular citizen? We have nothing. This is why I've had to sit back and just sort of try to process what's happening, because it is unthinkable. And the Constitution isn't something that was drafted and written in complex code. No, that was a document meant for everyone to be able to understand and read, because they know that what's in there is what protects us from kingship. And if we go away from that, we have nothing. And I think I'm going to save a deep dive into the Supreme Court for another day, if I even do it. But their treasonous actions are really what's leaving us behind and what's causing all of this to happen, because the immunity decision, they just said, well, yeah, it's fine. Unitary executive, he can do whatever he wants and he's got immunity. And this is completely wrong. Like, if you think about what the founding fathers were doing, George Washington, Benjamin Franklin, Thomas Jefferson, they were not setting it up so that someone could have complete control and power and never be prosecuted for it. This is what a king is, and they did everything in their power to set up the Constitution so that this couldn't be done. And we have witnessed the extreme amount of guardrails and safeguards that they have put up to try to continue this prohibition of executive power. This is why we have a Senate. This is why we have a House of Representatives. This is why anything that is not expressly the powers given to the federal government in the Constitution belongs to the states. And each state has its own governors and state constitutions and legislators. It's because they were setting up a system to try to keep people from doing things like this. And the only way that it works is that you have this, they broke away from the Constitution when they let an insurrectionist run, because that's in the Constitution too, okay? It's part 3 of the 14th Amendment, okay? And they just completely, the Supreme Court just said, no, we don't care about that. We don't care, it's fine. Meh. This is the immunity decision, It's like they just completely were like, oh no, we've been purchased, so we're just going to do what they say that we should do. And it says in here that if you've taken an oath to support the Constitution and, to support the Constitution of the United States, shall have engaged in insurrection or rebellion against the same, or given aid or comfort to the enemies thereof, but Congress may have a vote of 2/3 of each house to remove this disability. So, they've moved away from that with no explanation. So these originalists, as they're called, they've moved away from the text, right? And the actual meaning of the Constitution. So this is where we're at, you guys. This is where we're at. They've twisted this view because they're purchased. And even what I'm saying right now, even though we should have protections of speech, they don't seem to care about the actual text of the Constitution itself. And I think this is enough to have you expelled from the Supreme Court if you, knowingly defy the words within? So I think we have 3 Supreme Court justices that are actually good justices. And then we have the other 6 who are terribly afraid cowards who will do anything to maintain this twisted, corrupt status quo. And they'll do anything to keep this madman who is doing everything he can to suppress the information about Jeffrey Epstein. Now, to me, that seems like guilt. And there's a lot of people who have been found in the Republican Party that come out, that the states are prosecuting them for child sex crimes. Okay, so we have a serious problem here, and it all comes down to the money. And it's sad to me to watch people who should be there standing up for what's right, looking out for the people who they represent within their districts or their state, and they throw that away and lie. For what? Dollars? To keep your life? What is it? What did you agree to that makes you cling to these atrocities and defend those who would commit genocide upon people? What in the world happened? And that's what money can do. So we have to elect people who money's not what drives them. But it seems like until the midterms, we just are at the mercy of someone who has got his foot on the gas, and they seem to be going in some direction, and all so far we've seen is destruction. Nothing has gotten better. Nothing's gotten cheaper. We've all been betrayed. So, I guess I'll see you again soon. And this episode of History and Whatever is very doom and gloom, I understand, and I'm be surprised if anyone's made it this far. But what we must understand is there's still light. There is still hope. And we can move forward in it. We must all register to vote at our current addresses, no matter who you are, where you live in the United States. You must register, and you must go to the polls when the time comes. If we lose our Constitution, if we lose control forever to these people that have no scruples, and no virtue, and no heart, no understanding of the poor people and their struggles, who knows what the future holds, but it is grim. But until our next podcast, which keep an eye out, I've got some ideas. Hey, I'm James Manning III. And to all Americans, I wish that we could see through this Democrat and Republican nonsense, this liberal conservative nonsense. We should all vote as independents and vote for those who we believe will look out for our interests. And if we had more independence in our government, this would have never happened. So, until our next meeting, good night and good luck to you all.